What happens when the love story that started in scandal ends in an even bigger scandal? For years, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz have been Hollywood's model power couple. Polished, stylish, untouchable. They've built an empire of music, fashion, and influence, presenting themselves as a fairy tale success story. But behind the carefully curated photos and interviews, there's a storm brewing. Rumors are spreading like wildfire that Swizz has been carrying on a secret relationship with none other than Lala Anthony. Whispers suggest late-night DMs, suspicious Instagram interactions, and even the possibility of a child outside his marriage. And if that weren't messy enough, people are saying this might be karma finally catching up to Alicia Keys. Because the way you get him is the way you lose him. This isn't just gossip about three celebrities. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and what happens when the perfect image begins to crack. Today, we're unpacking how Alicia and Swizz's love story really started, why fans think history is repeating itself, and how Lala Anthony became the new name in this tangled web. It all started with a simple message, a DM from someone claiming to be close to Swizz's inner circle. The words were blunt. Swizz was allegedly madly in love with Lala Anthony. But here's the kicker. He wasn't planning on leaving his wife. According to the source, Swizz kept reassuring Lala that they needed to keep things low-key, telling her to calm down. I'm not leaving Alicia. That might sound like random chatter, but fans didn't just brush it off. They started digging for receipts, and Instagram quickly became Exhibit A. Observers noticed that whenever Swizz posted something, Lala seemed to be the first one in the comments. Not just casually dropping an emoji, but engaging back and forth, sometimes multiple times, until it looked more like a conversation than a comment. According to rumors, Swizz even had to tell her to stop because it was getting obvious. Now, in the world of celebrity gossip, little things can quickly snowball. Fans began asking themselves, why was Lala so quick to comment? Why was Swizz entertaining it? And if it was innocent, why would he allegedly warn her to cool it? And then the whispers got louder. It wasn't just about flirty interactions online. There were claims that Swizz might have gone all the way and fathered a child outside of his marriage. And the woman people speculated about most? Lala Anthony. The internet went into overdrive. Some people were shocked, others said they saw it coming. But the reason fans were so quick to believe it has everything to do with history. Because if you followed Alicia and Swizz's story, you know their relationship didn't exactly start clean. Back in 2008, Alicia Keys was one of the most respected artists in music. She had already released 3 massively successful albums, winning Grammys and selling millions of records. She had a squeaky clean image, soulful, humble, and empowering. But behind the scenes, something very different was happening. That year, Alicia teamed up with producer Swizz Beatz to work on her 4th project, The Element of Freedom. It wasn't the first time their paths had crossed. They'd known each other in the industry for years. But this was the first time they truly collaborated. And according to Alicia herself, the connection was instant. In her memoir, she wrote, "The more we talked, the more I noticed his mind. Beyond the baggy jeans and tattoos, there was depth. And he was also aware of the world." It sounds romantic now, but at the time it was messy. Because Swizz wasn't single. He was married to singer Mashonda Tifrere, and together they were raising their infant son. In fact, Mashonda later revealed she discovered the affair just 2 days after celebrating her son's 1st birthday. Imagine that, throwing a party for your baby, then finding out your husband is emotionally involved with someone else. By 2009, the situation had become unbearable for Mashonda. Instead of keeping quiet, she decided to speak out. She penned an open letter to Alicia Keys, which she posted on Twitter. In it, she accused Alicia of being a homewrecker, of tearing apart her family, and of being selfish. The letter was raw, detailed, and impossible to ignore. Fans were stunned. Suddenly, Alicia's perfect image was shattered. The girl who sang about love and empowerment was now being painted as the villain in another woman's heartbreak. The backlash was intense, but Alicia didn't back down. Instead, she doubled down on her relationship with Swizz, insisting their connection was undeniable. The drama didn't stop with one letter. Mashonda made it clear that she had tried to handle things privately for years. She said she reached out to Alicia multiple times, asking her to respect her marriage and step aside so she and Swizz could work things out. But Alicia allegedly ignored every attempt. Then came the detail that shocked everyone. Alicia allegedly pressured Mashonda's young son to call her Omi, the Arabic word for mother. For any parent, that crosses a line. Mashonda confronted her and respectfully asked her not to do that. But according to Mashonda, Alicia continued anyway. To make matters worse, Swizz's other baby mama, Jonna Sebastian, confirmed that Alicia had tried the same thing with her daughter, encouraging the child to call her mom. Now, it wasn't just Mashonda's word against Alicia's. There was another woman with a similar story. Fans were horrified. It wasn't just about being the other woman anymore. It was about trying to insert herself into children's lives in ways that felt invasive. Alicia's image took another hit, and the criticism grew louder. Still, Alicia and Swizz pressed forward. In 2010, they got married in a lavish ceremony and announced they were expecting their first child. To them, it was the start of a new chapter. To many fans, it was proof that Alicia didn't care about the wreckage left behind. Over the next decade, Alicia and Swizz carefully rebuilt their image. They became the ultimate creative couple, posting family photos, supporting each other's projects, and projecting unity at every turn. On red carpets, they looked flawless. On social media, they appeared unshakable. Swizz often bragged about their marriage, claiming in interviews that they had never argued once. It sounded too good to be true, but it fit the image they were selling. A perfect love story. Alicia, too, often spoke about their partnership in glowing terms, describing their home as a sanctuary of creativity and peace. Fans began to soften. Maybe their story was proof that love conquers all. Maybe the messy beginning didn't matter anymore. But here's the thing, people never forgot. Mashonda's letter lived on in screenshots and articles. The story of how Alicia and Swizz got together never fully went away. And that's why, when Lala Anthony's name started surfacing, fans didn't hesitate to believe it. Here's where things take a turn. Lala Anthony, actress, TV personality, and former wife of NBA star Carmelo Anthony, wasn't just some random name dropped into the mix. She and Swizz Beatz actually went to the same high school. Their connection went back decades. Lala's own love life was messy. Her marriage to Carmelo was plagued with rumors of infidelity. From whispers of secret side relationships to allegations of Carmelo fathering a child outside the marriage, the drama was constant. Eventually, the couple split, and Lala started reinventing herself as an independent, confident woman. Fans started piecing things together. Old photos resurfaced showing Lala and Swizz looking very comfortable together at events, smiling, laughing, with body language that some said looked a little too cozy. People began asking, were they always just friends? Or was there more going on? When the rumors exploded that they had been secretly linked for years, it didn't sound far-fetched. In fact, it sounded like the missing piece in a puzzle people had been trying to solve for years. When the cheating rumors with Lala broke, Swizz went into full damage control mode. Denying the story wasn't enough. He needed to prove his loyalty, or at least make it look convincing. One of his boldest moves was gifting Alicia a one-of-a-kind $300,000. Maybach designed by Virgil Abloh. It wasn't just a car, it was the kind of gesture that screams, "I'm loyal. I love you. Don't listen to the rumors." But to many fans, it looked like overcompensation. Swizz also went on the record again, insisting that his marriage was perfect and unshakable. He repeated his favorite line about never arguing with Alicia, trying to paint a picture of harmony. But the timing raised eyebrows. If everything was so perfect, why the grand gestures now? The internet wasn't buying it. Instead, people saw it as a man scrambling to cover his tracks, using money and gifts as distractions from the real issue. On the outside, Alicia played it cool. She smiled at events, posted uplifting quotes, and carried herself with grace. But insiders claimed she was furious behind closed doors. The gifts, the sweet words, the public declarations, none of it was enough. She knew something wasn't adding up. Meanwhile, Lala seemed completely unbothered. Instead of hiding, she leaned into the spotlight. She posted cryptic captions, wore bold outfits, and gave off the energy of someone who had nothing to lose. Fans swore she was throwing subliminals at Alicia, making it clear she wasn't afraid of the smoke. And then there was social media. The comments were brutal. This is karma. The way you get him is the way you lose him. Fans dragged Alicia, reminding her of how she once got Swizz. The sympathy wasn't there anymore. People were ready to watch the fairy tale unravel. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, the wildest rumor surfaced that Swizz had fathered a child with a longtime side chick. Blogs whispered that the woman's name was being hidden to prevent the scandal from blowing up even bigger. But many speculated that woman was Lala Anthony. The possibility of a baby outside the marriage hit hard because it mirrored Mashonda's pain from years ago. Suddenly, fans felt like history was repeating itself. Only this time, Alicia was in Mashonda's shoes, blindsided, humiliated, and stuck in a mess she helped create. And here's what makes it even harsher. People weren't lining up to defend Alicia. They weren't calling her a victim. Instead, they pointed out the irony. They said this was karma. Full circle, coming back to remind her that you can't build happiness on someone else's heartbreak. What started as a fairy tale love story has now become a cautionary tale. Alicia and Swizz might have built a public empire, but behind closed doors, the foundation looks shakier than ever. So now we're left with the big questions. Is Lala really Swizz's longtime side chick? Did Alicia just lose her man the same way she once took him? Or is this just another whirlwind of rumors, fueled by gossip blogs and social media detectives? One thing is certain. In Hollywood, the internet never forgets. Scandals live forever, and the same people who once celebrated your love will be the first to call it karma when it falls apart. So what do you think? Is this Alicia's karma catching up with her? Or is this just noise and speculation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because one thing's for sure, this story isn't over.